Once the experiment has been created, the next activities can be managed through the Experiment Manager. This is a powerful tool that allows you to do various tasks and serves as an entry point to different tools. You can map and commit the occurrences to a location, download important files, generate plot codes and entry codes, share occurrences with collaborators, and update protocols on the experiment that have been defined during its creation. From here, you can also launch other tools such as Data Collection and Harvest Manager with pre-selected occurrences as a parameter. At the end of this module, you should be able to manage experiments and occurrences, map occurrences to a location, prepare occurrences in locations for data collection, and access different breeding tools. Let's get started. To access the Experiment Manager, go to the left navigation menu, or you may add it to your Tools widget so it's readily available on your dashboard. On the Experiment Manager page, you'll be greeted with a data browser that contains occurrences that belong to your program. Here, you can see relevant information about the occurrences, their respective statuses, the experiment to which they belong to, experiment type, and more. In Experiment Creation, you will see what your experiment looks like. In the Experiment Manager, you can take a deeper look by viewing each generated occurrence and its locations. You may also update your data in the experiment or occurrence level, which will be discussed further in this module. To view an occurrence, click on the eye icon under the leftmost column. This will redirect you to the Occurrence view where you have at least 5 tabs: Basic, Entry, Plot, Protocol, and Design Layout. If your experiment type is either Intentional Crossing or Cross-Parent Nursery, you will have an additional tab labeled Crosses. For all of the tabs, you may view the information provided during experiment creation, but specific to that occurrence only. With the Basic tab, you can keep track of the progress being made to this occurrence. The Entry, Plot, and Crosses tabs also allow you to export data or save them as an entry, plot, or cross list. As mentioned earlier, you can also view a location to see all of the occurrences mapped and planted in it. Simply find an occurrence and click on its location name. You will be redirected to 3 tabs: Basic, Plot, and Field Layout. The Plot tab lists all of the plots and their information. You can determine where each plot belongs by referring to the Occurrence name column. Under the Field Layout tab, it shows you the field design of each occurrence. You can change which labels are shown on the layout among the entry number, plot code, or block number. To switch between field layouts, choose from the drop-down field on the upper right. When an experiment has already been finalized, you can no longer make drastic changes, such as entries, design, and name. However, with the Experiment Manager, you will be able to update other sections of data at the experiment or occurrence level. On the leftmost column of your occurrence, click the pencil icon to edit your data. You will be redirected to 5 tabs: Experiment, Occurrences, Management Data, Code Generation, and Protocols. Under the Experiment tab, you have the option to change other basic information such as pipeline, experiment objective, planting season, project name, experiment subtype and sub-subtype, and the description. Under the Occurrences tab, you have the option to change the occurrence name, site and field, description, and contact person. You also have the option to add more data, such as geospatial coordinates, planting date, and remarks. Under the Management Data tab, you are allowed to input the data for the management variables you specified during experiment creation. For example, you may specify the fertilizer brand and method applied. Additionally, you may add new management variables to your occurrences. Under the Code Generation tab, you can generate entry codes and plot codes for either experiment level or occurrence level. You may do that by adding starting sequence numbers or applying patterns using prefixes and suffixes. Lastly, under the Protocols tab, you can modify the occurrence protocols that you previously added during the creation. You can edit the planting, traits, management, and harvest protocols. After you create your experiment, you can map your occurrence to a location and commit it for planting. There are two ways you can map an occurrence. 1. By generating its location. Or 2. Providing custom planting arrays. If you indicate a planting arrangement during the creation of your experiment, you can generate a new location according to that planting array. Use this option when you want the system to generate the coordinates. Note also that with this option, you can only map one occurrence to one location. In the Experiment Manager browser, find your occurrence and click its location icon. On the modal window, provide the location name, location steward, and, if necessary, a description of the location. The system automatically provides the name of the creator as the location steward. But if this does not apply in your case, you may still change it. The field and planting area coordinates can be set to be the same as the design coordinates. Tick the checkbox on the lower right corner of the modal window. Once you're done, click Next. You'll be able to view the generated location with the planting array. Click Confirm to proceed. You will be directed back to the Experiment Manager browser. Here you should see that the status of your occurrence changes to Mapped. If you did not indicate a planting arrangement during the creation of your experiment, or you would like to use a different planting arrangement, you can provide your planting arrays or generate one using the KD Explorer tool. You can map multiple occurrences to a single location using the tool. First, you need to download the planting array of your occurrence. Find your occurrence on the Experiment Manager browser and click its download icon on the left. You can also select the occurrence and click the download icon on the toolbar. If you are viewing your occurrence, you can also download the mapping file from the modal window. You can download the file by clicking the View button of an occurrence, and then the Download button below the Basic tab. Once you have downloaded your mapping file, you may start creating your planting array. You may use the KD Explorer software to populate the information on the coordinates, or you may manually provide the coordinates. Make sure that the coordinates won't overlap, especially when mapping multiple occurrences to the same location. Once done, save your file in CSV format. Go back to the Experiment Manager and click Upload on the toolbar, then select Mapped Plots. In the modal window, specify whether you are uploading the planting arrangement to a new location or an existing one. Let's try first uploading the mapped plots to an existing location. To upload your file, you may drag and drop your file from your device onto the modal window, or click the Browse button and locate your file. When it's uploaded, click Validate. You then need to specify the location. The system automatically provides the assigned person to the location for the location steward. Click Validate, then click Confirm. You will see that there are two occurrences existing now with your occurrence added to the same location. If you are uploading the mapped plots to a new location, you will have to provide first the location name, location steward, and if necessary, a description of the location first before you upload your CSV file. Click Validate. Then click Confirm. You will be directed to the Experiment Manager browser, where your occurrence's status should show as Mapped. After this step, you can still update your map location as long as it doesn't have the planted status. Now that your occurrences are mapped, you can finally commit them and proceed with your data collection. You may also update your occurrences by generating plot and entry codes and modifying their existing protocols. Committing your occurrence indicates that your mapping of the location is final, and the occurrence is now ready for implementation. A committed occurrence also signifies that you can start collecting trait data. To commit your occurrence, click the check icon of your occurrence. This will only appear once your occurrence is mapped. A confirmation message then appears notifying you that committed occurrences cannot be modified and that mapped locations will be operational. Click Confirm to finally commit your occurrence. You will then be notified that you have successfully committed your occurrence. The Experiment Manager enables you to define the entry and plot codes within one or multiple occurrences. These are concatenated strings, numbers, or variables that define a pattern. The use of the codes is entirely up to the breeder or the program. We recommend, however, that these will be meaningful to you and your program. For example, if your experiment is multi-location, you would probably include a location, year, season, and trial codes, so you can immediately recognize when you compile all your data across all locations. This can be your package label when you harvest. Let's say you want to generate a plot code for a single occurrence. Select the occurrence, then click the bulk icon on the toolbar. From the menu, you have two options: Generate Entry Code or Generate Plot Code. Since your goal is to assign plot codes, choose Generate Plot Code. Then you will be provided with another option: Experiment Level or Occurrence Level. If you want to apply the same plot code pattern to all occurrences of the same experiment, select Experiment Level. In this case, you are defining the plot code only for the occurrence you selected, so select Occurrence Level. You can start creating your plot code pattern on this page. You will see the number of occurrences you've selected and the components of the code you need to provide. Let's try to make your code pattern. Say you want to create this pattern: HB21W-001. To come up with this pattern, let's start with the prefix. This can be a free text or a variable. Choose free text and you'll provide the value yourself. If you choose variable, you will choose among the options provided to define your prefix. In this case, you need free text to come up with your plot code. As for the leading zeros, provide the number of zeros ahead of the starting number. Then in the starting sequence number, provide the starting number of your code. The suffix is also defined by either free text or a variable. Since the code pattern you're making does not have a suffix, we won't provide any. Once you're done, click Save. You'll be notified that you have successfully generated your code pattern. To check how your plot code appears, go back to the Experiment Manager browser, click the View icon of your occurrence, and go to the Plot tab. In the Plot Code column, you will see your generated codes. Should you need to make changes, just repeat the same steps. In the Experiment Manager, you may also update protocols defined during experiment creation. Select the occurrence whose protocols you wish to update. Then on the toolbar, click the bulk update icon and select Update Occurrence Protocols. The Experiment Manager will then open a browser showing your selected occurrences for updating. This is where you can update the protocols. Once satisfied with the changes that you make, click Save. Then click on Experiment Manager to go back to the main browser. So far, you have learned several activities you can do in Experiment Manager, such as mapping your occurrences to a location, committing occurrences, and preparing them for data collection. On top of these activities, the Experiment Manager serves as an entry point to other activities in the breeding workflow. These include downloading and collecting trait and plot data, recording harvest data, printing tags, and sharing occurrences to collaborators. You will learn in detail about these activities in the next tool modules. Once an occurrence has been mapped and a location is operational, it is ready to accept collected trait and cross data. You can download trait and location files in the Experiment Manager that are needed by the KSU Fieldbook app, the recommended external tool used for collecting data. The Experiment Manager is also where you upload back these files with the collected trait data. To download the files, select your occurrence on the Experiment Manager browser. Click the Download icon on the toolbar, then select Trait Data Collection. You have the option to collect data by occurrence or by location. You'll be directed to the Download Data Collection Files page. Here you can see all the selected traits for that occurrence. In the right section, click the folder icon on the toolbar to download the trait file and the mobile icon to download the occurrence file. This and the next steps in data collection will be explained in detail in the Data Collection module as you progress through the course. You can also produce tags and labels to easily identify each plot in the field. To do this, click the checkbox of the occurrence and click the Print button. In the Printouts modal window, it will display the occurrence you selected, template of the tag or label, and the file type. After that, click Download. You may now print the downloaded tags and labels using your local printer. After collecting and saving data, you can upload your files back to the Experiment Manager. From the Experiment Manager tool, click Upload and select Trait Data Collection. This will open a new window for the data collection upload. Click the Browse button on the lower right or drag and drop your file. Then wait for the tool to finish checking your file for formatting errors, such as unrecognized headers or duplicate values. After your file has been checked, you will be redirected to the Data Collection tool, where you will be notified that the upload is successful and completed. This and the rest of the data collection process will be discussed in detail when you go to the Data Collection module. In the Experiment Manager, you can tap the Harvest Manager tool when your plants are ready to be harvested. We recommend that you do this if you are harvesting multiple occurrences. From the Experiment Manager, select your occurrences that are ready for harvest. Then on the toolbar, click the Breeding Tools icon, select Harvest Manager, then either Harvest Crosses or Plots. You will then be directed to the Harvest Manager tool, where you may start inputting your harvest data. You will know more about this as you move forward in the course and reach the Harvest Manager module. Occurrences can also be shared with a different program or collaborators in the Experiment Manager. Click the checkboxes of the occurrences you want to share, then click the Share button. You will be redirected to the Experiment Permissions browser with the selected occurrences. Click the Manage button, then choose between Selected in Page or All in Page. On the Manage Permissions modal window, choose from the drop-down menu the program or the person that you want to share the occurrence with. After that, click Add. You may update the permission by toggling between Read or Write. Lastly, you may remove the collaborator by selecting the collaborator and clicking Remove. When done, click Close. The collaborator permissions will then appear in your occurrences. Great job! That has been quite a list of things you can do in the Experiment Manager tool. In this module, you are able to manage experiments and occurrences, map occurrences to a location, prepare occurrences and locations for data collection, and access different breeding tools. In the next modules, you will have a more thorough understanding and application of these activities as you move forward in the course.